back to my channel with Love Demania. Today we are going over how to journal, and these are my beautiful journals.
This is what 4 years of journaling looks like. Messy, honest, lived in. The page doesn't need perfection from me, it needs presence. I come here to tell the truth in a voice that doesn't have to be brave out loud.
I've been journaling for 20 years on and off, but I've been the most consistent in the past 4 years. And I wanted to start here because I feel like personally there's a reason why people stop journaling at a certain point. They might buy the journal, get the new pen, and write one entry, if that, but many don't want to get past messing up the beautiful, pretty white page with whatever they have to say. And that says a lot. It speaks to us not believing in what we have to say and the importance of it. And it also speaks to the fact that sometimes we don't want to be honest with ourselves. I journaled a little bit as a child. I had my own little journal that you would use the key for. And I also had the journal where you would put your voice. I don't know if you guys had that. If you're not journalers, you might not have, but if you did, then you know. If you know, you know. So I had those journals, and at some point, my mom read my journal. I know, tragic, very, very tragic. And I get it as an adult why she read it, but at the time, it was like the worst thing ever. So I stopped journaling from that point on. I ripped up all of my journals and threw them in the incinerator and didn't write again until I was in college. And again, I understand why she did it. I wasn't expressive as a young adult, so she didn't know what was going on in my life. And as a parent, she wanted to know what was happening. So I totally understand now. But one of the top rules is never read anyone's journal. Like, you do not read someone's journal. It's the most rude thing that you can do. You do not read someone's journal because this is the space where they are being open and honest, and unless they give you permission, you don't read someone's journal. It's like truly ridiculous to do so. So make sure you vow to yourself that you will not read anyone's journal because it is truly rude. It doesn't just feel embarrassing, but it feels like your inner world is no longer yours. So if you've ever struggled with journaling for a multitude of reasons, please stay tuned so that we can get through it together. I got you. A lot of people think they don't journal because they don't have time, but I think they don't journal because they don't feel safe to do so. They don't want to express themselves. They don't want to read the page back and see all the horrific and cringy things that are going on inside their mind. They don't want to make time for truth and honesty and self-reflection. But it's so important to remember that in your journal, you're not being judged. This is the one place you can be honest, true, raw. I always write in my journal, thank you. Thank you for holding all of me. Thank you for witnessing me and not judging me. I always say that because to me, my journal is a being, it is an essence. It's not a human, but it's a spirit to me. We have a deep connection. And so I always make sure I honor my journals. Journaling isn't only about documenting your day, dear diary, or being the most prolific writer or having the most clarity. It's about having a conversation with yourself. Sometimes it's gentle, sometimes it's uncomfortable, sometimes it could be super cringy, and sometimes I don't even know what I'm truly going through, what I'm going to write down. I only have the feeling, and it's okay to start with that. When I find myself in tough moments like that, the thing that I like to do is interview myself. I have never heard anyone talk about this method, and I've used it ever since I was maybe 10 or 11 years old. When I don't know what to write, I start with one honest sentence. I don't know what to write. I feel off today. I'm scared. I'm nervous. And from there, I like to ask myself one simple question. Why? Why? I'll continue to ask myself why. If I say I feel scared, why? Why do you feel scared? Then I'll let myself write. If I say I don't know what to write, why? Why don't you know what to write? And just continue to interview myself in that way by asking myself. So I'll literally ask myself in the journal entry, why don't you know what to write? And then I'll say why I don't know what to write. And then I'll say why again. And then I'll continue to ask myself questions. And then the next thing I know, I wrote 3, 4, 5 pages of documenting how I feel. And at first, I had no idea what to say. It can all start from one sentence. Sometimes it can look like an interrogation of self, and that's totally okay. Sometimes it doesn't. But the importance is to ask yourself these questions just to figure out the deeper meaning, the deeper feeling that you're going through, because when we express ourselves in a space without judgment, without fearing judgment, we are able to release. And it's so important to release. When you hold on to all of that baggage, all of those things that you think and don't say, it starts to pile up. The body keeps the score. And if you don't arrive at any breakthrough, it's totally okay. There's nothing wrong with you. You're doing this properly. You want to continue doing so. This isn't about arriving to a final answer. It's about teaching our bodies that it's okay to be asked questions and that you don't need a perfectly polished response. Just respond. In this space, there is no judgment. It's a judgment-free zone. You have to remember that this is your space. And again, if you feel nervous that someone might read your journal, which again is like beyond rude, carry the journal with you. Maybe write it in your notes app instead and keep it logged. Really, you shouldn't have to do these things, but if you have to, do what you have to do. You can even write in code. Some people might write in like a script that no one could read, not even themselves, just to get the words out. If again you want to write in your notes app, you can write in your notes app and get that out. If you want to write it down and then rip the page up, you can do that as well. I would prefer that you had a space where you can just write and not have to worry about anyone reading it, but I know people go through different situations and it's totally okay as long as you get those feelings out of your body and into this realm. Another way I love to journal is to use media. Sometimes my thoughts get tangled and I have no idea what I want to say. So what I like to do is collect memes in one of my journals in the pocket, and I have these just in case I do not have an idea. I kind of use them as prompts. So anytime I see a meme that makes me think or that I have more to say or want to dwell upon deeper, I like to screenshot it and then print it. So you'll see I have a whole bunch of them here. I'll print them out and then I just keep them in the back of my journal for moments where I don't know what to say. And then I'll pull one out. For instance, we pulled this one. I'll open my journal up, place her in, and then just write based on what I think about that. So that's another way that really helps me like open up and express myself in ways that maybe I wasn't even thinking to do that day. Basically, you want to ask yourself, what did this make me feel? Why did I stop and screenshot this? What about this message resonated with something deep within me? That post becomes a prompt and my page is the response. Often we just scroll past things. We like it, we see it, and then we move on to the next. In this day and age, we're moving on too quickly. It's so important to digest media, to think about what we're thinking about, to think about what we're seeing and not just see it and scroll past, to dwell upon it, to ponder upon it. This is your chance to make meaning of what you're consuming versus just consuming it mindlessly. Another easy way to journal is to set a timer. Tell yourself that you're going to write for 5 minutes. That's it. It doesn't have to be for any longer than that. When you do this, you allow yourself to feel as though you're not pressured to sit and write and write and write pages and pages. 5 minutes, that's all. Set the timer. And if at the end of that 5 minutes you've only written 2 sentences, so be it. Don't judge yourself. Just love the fact that you showed up to the page and do it again. Do it daily, 5 minutes daily. Think about how much it's going to help you. Yes, today you might find that you only write 2 sentences, but tomorrow or next week, you might find that you're writing 2 pages. Progression and learning takes time. We have to be consistent, and with that consistency, results are bred. I want to remind you guys that journaling doesn't have to look perfect. It looks different for many people. I see a new trend where people are doing habit tracking, and that's been really cool for me to do as well. If you don't have much to say and you want to track a habit, that's totally okay. What I've been tracking currently is my sleep, and I wear an Aura ring, so I like to track my sleep habits, my HRV, my resting heart rate, and things of that nature. You can literally track anything. And the people that are doing this are also doing a sentence a day. So they're just asking themselves to come to the page and write 1 sentence and leave it at that. I think that's iconic. It's a way to show up to the page daily, no pressure. Another lovely method that actually is what got me really into journaling again are the morning pages from The Artist's Way. The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron, life-changing. This book changed my life. It changed the way that I write. It changed the way that I journal. And it's not only for journalers. If you have any other artistry that you like to do, then this is for you. basically, in this 12-week challenge, Julia Cameron asked that you write morning pages daily. And what morning pages are, it's 3 pages consistently of just your thoughts. So as soon as you wake up in the morning, you would go to the page, no phone, no scrolling, straight to the page. Open your journal up and start writing whatever comes to your mind. She also recommends the same thing. If you don't know what to say, right? I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say until you got something to say, okay? Literally. She would just tell you to keep writing until you have something to write about. Even if that fills up the whole 3 pages, you just saying, I don't know what to say, that's fine, because the next day you might have something to say. And what I noticed after that 12-week session is that I had so much to say, and my conversation with myself got so much deeper. And after finishing the 12-week program, I continued my morning pages with my own journal, just on my own, and I am now up to 310. So that's another way that you can get your journaling needs met. If you've been waiting for journaling to feel effortless or inspiring, you might be waiting forever. If you treat the page like a conversation with a friend, you might actually get somewhere. In fact, I'm certain you will. Ask better questions. Respond honestly. Let the world speak to you and then you respond to it. Trust me, you'll never run out of things to write this way. In the next video, I'll show you guys how these practices have turned into an entire journaling ecosystem for me. But for now, all you need is one question and the courage to answer it. All you need is one journal. All you need is one pen and yourself. We're literally here to mess up this perfectly white page. Engage with the page in ways that feel real to you. Feel free to do little doodles, to draw if you have nothing to say. There truly are no rules. I hope this video helps you guys figure out some ways that you can go about journaling. Please like this video, leave a comment below, and make sure you're subscribed for more videos. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.